Let's see here. I think we're on question 7. Here we go. Hi, Peter. Would it be plausible to use one of Jacque's basic designs for a simple mass-produced house shelter to produce them and distribute them around the world, start the transition by housing everyone on the planet? You know, it's very interesting that you bring that up. There is a thing that Jacque did, oh God, I think 30 years ago, if not longer, called a trend home. And it was a prefabricated home that he invented, which was extremely low cost. I believe it used recycled materials. If you go to the archives of the Venus Project, I believe they have this in there. They have all of these news archives. It probably is labeled, actually. I'm not going to punch it up right now, but look into the trend home, and you'll find a very interesting example of pretty much exactly what you're describing. He wanted to make a very low-cost house that was prefabricated, not prefabricated in the sense that you see these homes today, these really cheap trailer park type homes, but something that actually had a great deal of integrity, a great deal of strength, an extremely low cost, unbelievable efficiency, a brilliant invention. Just out of curiosity, you should go and check that out. Find the Trend Home by Jacque Fresco. But back to your larger point, I completely agree with that. I would love to see something like that happen. That's the thing, though. If it's not profitable, it tends not to happen. Where do you find the initial money to do that, and how do you maintain support for such an issue in the sea of profitability that we have now? The problem is the initial resources that would need to be obtained to make it in bulk enough to have the deal on the resources. In other words, let me say that more clearly. In order to get the resources, the amount of resources needed to make so many things to make it cheap, you know, buying things in bulk is invariably cheaper. You'd have to have a great deal of money initially to do something like that. These are the types of things that the United Nations, if they really cared, would be thinking about. They wouldn't be worrying about the monetary programs that they assume in and of themselves. They would actually create establishment systems, They'd actually create factories. They would actually build things for the purpose of these types of issues. They would build factories to produce homes for people at a very, very low cost, prefabricated, very simple. They would build extrusion technology factories, which would bring out extruded food full of all the nutrients that the 1 billion people that are starving on this planet could actually utilize. And all of it, once they set that system up, it would be so inexpensive to maintain, and it would actually do a great deal. These are things I will be talking about in more financial detail when I talk about the transition in the third film. Because if you get the money down there, you begin to see how, when you realize the money that is wasted on the bureaucracy, on a pseudo-profit system known as the non-profit charity organizations that are out there. There are many great meaning organizations, but very often they are so corrupted, for lack of a better expression, by the fact that they have to maintain their own establishments with money. Anyway, so that's a terrific question. I strongly suggest looking into Fresco's Trend Home.